Hey, and welcome to IMO, in my opinion, with J&M. John.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Why do you always got to give me shit about my pre-show routine?
I don't know. Cause I feel like
bathroom.
I feel like you can add more to
I got a little list I got to go through.
I feel like you could be a little more creative.
I got a nose check, hair check.
Hair check? You
Bladder
wear a
check.
hat. How are you checking
look
your
at the
hair?
waves. Look at that. That's
The bang you have going on
Speaking
there?
of, this guy comes in here with a full, luscious head of hair. Are you jealous?
Very. I told him that
Yeah,
right when he walked
yeah.
out. So we have a guest here. Ulyses is here with us tonight. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me, man. This is cool.
No problem. And you are more than welcome to come whenever you have some time and chat it up with us here on IMO. So, John, you told us how you're doing today?
What?
Did you tell us how you're doing? You're all right, right? All right, we can skip.
Yeah.
Ulyses, so you're an actor, right? You like to act. You're part of the business and all that. You're a professional actor. Tell us your story. John, you're not a professional actor. So I'm going to mute. We could just turn off his microphone right now, right?
No,
Okay, cool.
John, you could chime in whenever you want.
We'll leave him.
Whenever
Okay.
you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I guess let's take it back from the beginning, man. I took, it was something I've always wanted to do. Acting, it was always a secret passion, but obviously, if and as a kid, if you're quiet and reserved, you don't want to stand out. You just kind of want to blend in with the crowd, and I did that all my kid, when I was a child and as a teenager, and but yeah, once I turned like around 21, 22, around that age, I was speaking with a friend of mine regarding what we want to do with our lives and what we want to accomplish, and I just quietly peeked out. Oh, I want to act. I want to try that front, and his eyes lit up, and keep in mind this is my friend who we still kind of talk here and there, but he's about 6'3", tall, slim, good-looking Brazilian guy with an accent and everything. So I'm thinking like, oh, dude, this is the guy that's going to be the star. This is going to be the guy that blows up, because he had everything going for him. He just but life got in the way, and he kind of just fell off the map, and he didn't want to pursue it anymore. Whereas my dumbass just didn't know when to quit.
I mean, that's not something to say that's dumb. I mean,
No.
you could. This can be a very, very good career. I mean, it's a hard career. It's one of those. It's almost like making the NBA. Making the major league baseball or something. It's kind of one of those, because like you take a risk doing this, and you kind of go for broke, but you can end up really bad or end up really good. You just have to kind of go for it.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you said, it's one of those go all or nothing kind of deals.
Exactly.
You're either going to be, and I guess success means different things to different people. So I guess to see what I consider successful is I don't know I don't know what your specific goals are as an actor, but I have no ambition to be famous or even be rich, to be quite honest with you.
You know what? I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I always tell myself, like, I don't do this to become famous. Look at John's fucking face. He's like, yeah, you are. You're full of shit. You're going to be
And for your information, I identify as an actor.
Do you? You act
yeah.
as what?
Huh?
What do you act?
As a thespian, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shakespeare, King Lear, all that good stuff.
Right.
It checks out to me, man.
Moving on.
He doesn't know me. Yeah.
So I never wanted, like, I don't do this to be rich or whatever. Like, I don't do this IMO thing.
But you wouldn't complain if you're rich.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Absolutely not. But I don't do it for that purpose. Like, I didn't do this setup here for me to make money on YouTube. That was more his idea than mine. I did this.
What?
You were the first one. Like, oh, bro, you can make a lot of money on this. Let's make sure we do hashtags. That we do this. That we do that. That we do this. Am I lying?
Yeah.
All right then. I mean, it'd be great if we made some money off this.
I was about to say,
and make some money back for all the fucking gear we bought.
So
right?
So far, we're 2,000 in the hole around.
Yeah,
there
around there somewhere.
Well, you got to invest in yourself.
I agree, and that's why I don't regret buying everything that I bought. Right? Like, I bought a bunch of gear for like my auditions and all this stuff, and I don't regret it, because I mean, you have to sell yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You're selling yourself. That's what you're doing. And you have to make sure you look the best that you can, right? Well, because this is what they see now. It's not like that we're not going into auditions anymore. It's all basically over the internet, right? So,
which, by the way, I know if there is a silver lining to all the COVID thing, I would say that I really do love auditioning from home. Oh my god,
you know what? I do too.
Such a blessing.
It's so much more relaxing in a way. I mean, I still get nervous. I mean, I'm not so nervous anymore, but like the fact that you can do it and do it over and do it over, and so you get a good take is great, because when you go to an actual audition, when you go to a place, it's like it's like 2 takes, if that, and
Pressure's
next,
on.
gotta go.
Yeah.
One
You know
and
what I'm
done,
saying?
and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. You got to bring it right at the moment. You don't have time to say, oh, you know what, I messed that up or whatever. You have to bring it. You know, so this, I agree with you. It's like it's a good thing right now.
But I think I think this is in a way, I think it's actually a superior way of auditioning because a lot of times an actor, they go in and they're cautious and they don't really do what they had in mind. So I believe that when you take your time and really develop your audition or submit what you're proud of, that's how you're really going to bring it on the stage or on scene.
Right.
But that being said, for whatever reason, I never got nervous auditioning in person, or I never got auditioned for callbacks. I always get nervous when I actually book the project.
You know what?
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's kind of like,
I get nervous.
Are you sure
I get
you
nervous
want
through
me?
all of it. I get nervous through all of it, and I'm like shaking. Well, it's not so bad anymore, right? I've gotten more comfortable, and part of it is this, right? Because this is one of the reasons why I did this podcast or this whatever you want to call it. I was really nerve-wracked in front of a camera, like I was just shaking and whatever. And I kind of told myself, I mean, we can't do anything during COVID anyways. So I'm like, yeah, let's start a podcast and let's put some cameras to it. And if, eventually you get comfortable to having the cameras looking at you and you can be yourself, because that's the one. And then you look comfortable, which is different. Obviously you're an actor. Like most most of the guests that come here, they're pretty nervous for like the first 10 minutes and then they start to loosen up.
Yeah.
You're in there and you're talking away. And
the kombucha has like 5% alcohol.
So you're drunk.
That's gotta be it.
That's gotta be it.
So I'm a lightweight. So this.
I really did it just to get comfortable, and I think it's helped me because I kind of lose track of where the cameras are, and I think that's great in my opinion, right?
Oh,
like
definitely.
For me, shameless plug. Like even in my acting classes right now,
Where are you taking acting classes?
I'm at Black Box right now.
I hear good things about.
So
Black Box.
they're more theater. So I don't know if that's your cup of tea or not, but it's more body movement and it's helpful, right? Because you start to observe. They teach you how to observe other people and give it an emotion so you can respond to it in your head, like an inner monologue type of thing. So like if I'm looking at John, like he looks confused right now, and then I can react to that or whatever. It's like reading emotions and displaying emotions and all that. So it's more inner work right now.
Are you referring to Meisner? The Meisner technique?
Yeah, kind of like a Meisner.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a Meisner technique, but there's a little bit custom. So they had some things that are Meisner and some things that are their own. Cool place. I don't know where I was going with that. I just drew a blank.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Well, you were talking about you're taking. I asked you, you're taking it, and you said you were taking acting classes at Black Box Theater.
I mean, good place. I mean, I would rather do a little more in front of a camera, but that's just me because that's where I want to be. I'm more of a film actor than I am a stage actor. I don't know if are you stage? You like stage?
I've only done about 3 plays as of yet in my life, and I really do enjoy it. I really love it. And in my dream world, in a perfect world, I wish I could be a full-time, well-paid theater actor. That
really,
I 100%.
You got guts, my friend.
I would love.
I am the direct opposite. That scares the living shit out of me.
I guess it's just perspective, man. Because to me, like once you're in the theater and once you get the thing going, like there's no turning back. It's full throttle.
I think that's what scares me. That it's all there. Like it's like there's no takes. There's no like. I would literally call cut on myself. Like cut. Can we do it again? No. Oh, sorry.
Pull the curtain back down. Let's
start over.
But like to me, like when you're on a set and like there's directors and producers and there's stage crew and everyone's just kind of like there just to work and that's the thing. Everyone's just there. Everyone is there to work. Everyone's there to do their job. Artists included. So if I'm flubbing on a line or if I don't know if I can't get the right emotion, I feel like I'm wasting everybody's time. Everyone's just to go up, and that's what pressure's on me. I mean, when you were on PD, right? So how was your experience there? Let's compare yours to mine because you were actually cast. I was more BG than anything. So, yeah, dude. Well, first of all, I'm very grateful. I mean, it was a great experience. The audition process was, gave me confidence that I did actually learn the role. But I think I was a little bummed that like I said, that all my speaking lines during the audition process were cut for the scene. So that was a little bit of a bummer.
All of them
sucks.
Dude, yeah, bro. Like I auditioned with like a good 2 chunky pages of dialogue. So I'm like, oh, dude, this is gonna be great. And I'm bragging
because you were somebody's boyfriend, right? You were the one of the main character's boyfriends or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they were thinking you killed Ruzek's father.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, well, good memory, bro. Shit.
Yeah. Look at here's. You know what else I do that's weird? So I've auditioned for PD a few times and Fire a few times, and I didn't land it. I didn't book it. Right? I got really close to one. and I didn't book, but I purposely watched the episode that I didn't book, right? Because I just, and not because I'm upset.
All to say, oh, I could have done better than
You're
that.
full of shit. You're full of shit. I
Not
never
every time,
said
but
that.
that last time. You did.
I never said that. I said he didn't do anything better than I did.
Same shit.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm better than him. I'm saying he didn't do anything that would. And then you realize, like, I'm assuming in this industry, we're gonna get more no's than we are yeses. That's just the thing. You know, you're really gonna get more no's than you are yeses.
Oh, you'll if you're lucky, you'll get 10 no's before you get one yes.
Correct.
And that's if you're good and
Correct.
you're lucky.
Correct. So like I've learned that, especially with the last one, the one I got really close to, I've learned that it's not that you didn't do good or you didn't have a good audition. It was probably because you weren't what they were looking for.
Exactly.
You know, because like between me and the guy who got it, because I was on the first release for that part, so like I was really close to getting it. I was probably the top 3, I guess,
And it's
or whatever.
because at that point you already think you got the part.
Yeah, I remember I was geeked. I was at work, and when my agent sent me the email, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And I'm running up and down, whatever, and then I didn't book it.
I wish I was your agent. I just leave you a voicemail like Consuela. No, you not get
So fucking I watched the episode and I see the guy and I'm like, well, you didn't do anything, you know, great. I mean, not anything better than what I did in my audition, right? Basically same shit, right? And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe they picked him because he was like Arab looking or whatever versus I'm Hispanic or whatever. Maybe it was that. And you have to kind of be able to learn how to accept.
He did have hair.
No, he didn't. He was bald.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you? Hello, if you're gonna pick, if you have a list of guys that look similar, they're all gonna be bald. You know, it's not like me and him look similarly.
Was that
right? He's got a little more hair than I do.
You got the Fabio going on.
Oh, dude, man.
He walked up to me, his hair was all flowing in the wind and the whole nine. Man, I was jealous.
In my defense, I just got out of the shower, and you know you're not supposed to put your hair in a bun when it's wet.
I wouldn't know about that.
I know.
I don't think I ever had hair that long in my life.
It wasn't for vanity reasons. It's for healthcare reasons.
But yeah, so back to your experience. So you booked the part, you go to set. I mean, let's go through that whole process because I'm gonna go through that process pretty soon too. So tell me what was the first thing that you did? Did you go to makeup? Did you go to where'd you go?
For sure. Oh yeah, man. So call time was early as hell. I mean, we had to be. We call time was like 6 a.m.
Okay.
So
where'd you go?
Actually, no, 5 a.m. for that matter.
Where was your base at?
Actually, the base camp was right near where the White Sox play. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? It's probably the same place I was at.
Okay.
It was like literally like maybe a couple blocks away from it,
Right.
or whatever. It's like a parking lot from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there it was. I had to be there 5 a.m. I got into makeup. I shaved my arms the day before because they were going to give me tattoos and everything. And yeah, dude, I had a
Shaved your arms for nothing because you couldn't even see it, right? You were on the bed.
It took me like 2 months to grow everything back. So, but no. And side note, the makeup artist. Oh man, she was really cute. I had a big crush on her.
Was
so
she?
hopefully, if she hears this,
Probably not, but okay. Well, there's hopeful thinking. Maybe she'll be a fan one day.
I'm an optimist. You never know.
There you go.
Yeah, you have
There
to
you
be.
go.
How else are you gonna get through life?
So you get to makeup.
So I get to makeup. I go do the whole thing. They drive us straight to set, and it was so. And I was talking to the other actress. Her name is Jocelyn. She plays my girlfriend in that episode, and she had already filmed her another scene like the day before or something like that.
Yeah, because she had a scene in the interrogation.
In the interrogation room, that's right. And then and right off the bat, she was telling me that the cast and the crew, they're already they were a little mad because they had to work on a Saturday. So everyone.
Oh yeah, because they swapped it because of COVID. They started working on Saturdays to kind of hurry up and get over with or whatever it was.
Exactly. So people are already a little tense. They're tired, and I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm thinking,
They're getting fucking paid. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I'm thinking dude, I don't want to fuck anything up. And my buddy, he's like, hey, make sure you get pictures with the crew and everything, and with the cast. I'm like, yeah, I don't.
Not gonna happen.
That right? That's not gonna
You
happen.
know what's funny? Here's the funny thing, because did you ever do background for PD or any of those shows? Did you ever do any PG?
I've done plenty of background work, but I don't know if I did anything specific for those.
Like a major thing?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you know how they'll probably tell you, like they told us, don't bug the cast, don't talk to the cast, don't ask for pictures, don't ask for this, don't ask for that. Like, I mean, come on, they're fucking people, man. Like, can I But when you're a cast member, I'm assuming you got a little more freedom, right? Like you actually can talk to them and have a conversation because you're probably gonna end up having lunch with them. And this was COVID time, right? when you recorded?
This was earlier this year, actually, you know, because 2020, like I said, everything shut down, but then 2021 rolls around, and dude, this fucking, like, everything, like, it's just been, like, consistently busy, like, one audition after, and I don't mean this to, like, sound braggy or anything, even though it kind of does.
That's fine. Go ahead, do it.
But it's just kind of like, I think people are just trying to make up for everything that they've lost for the last year, so... but no, back to your point. I met the cast, so they drove me to set. I walked in, I was nervous because I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta, get it right on the first take, or everyone's gonna get pissed off at me. But
especially the old man.
Yeah, right.
The old man will put you in the cage or beat you up.
But dude, no, the cast was really nice. They were all really friendly. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, nice to meet you, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, professional. They're kind of like, all right, nice to meet you. Now let's get to work, And
that's probably what you want, right?
Oh, that's exactly what I want.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You want to be able to have 2 words with them at some point, throughout the day. But I mean, we're pretty novice at this. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm in the same boat. So like, I booked the thing for Lightyear, and I'm gonna have a scene with J.K. Simmons, and that's nerve wracking, right? Because it's J.K. Simmons, and people are like, oh, who's J.K. Simmons? I'm like, I know who J.K. Simmons is. Okay, the one that sticks in my head is obviously the Spider-Man thing, like him playing J. Jonah Jameson.
And everybody else is what?
What? What do you mean?
Farmers.
The farmers commercials. He won an Oscar. He won an Oscar for that the one who was the one he was directing, right? He was the musical director.
He was the musical director for in the movie Whiplash. And
yes.
To me, when I think of J.K. Simmons, I think of Whiplash.
I heard he did really good. I didn't watch that. It's like he's a musical, like he's the director of a high school band or something like that.
No, his role is he's the musical director of one of the most prestigious musical academies in the country.
Okay, cool. And he goes pretty hard on like a kid or something, or on a drummer,
on Miles Tener. He's the jazz drummer.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I've seen parts of this movie. I just never finished the whole thing. There's
3 movies I'd recommend that I love to watch: Whiplash, Birdman, and Good Time with Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
Those movies are, oh my god, they're
okay. So let's go back to set. So you're on set, you meet the cast, whatever. What was your day like? How long was your day,
bro? Considering everything else, it was a really good day. It was a phenomenal day because. So in my dying scene, my shirt's ripped apart. I'm covered in blood and everything, and all I have to do is basically just lay on a bed and gasp for breath.
Right.
So I get to stay in a nice, warm, cozy, and everybody from the cast and crew at some point. I'm talking everybody. Like they're all telling me, dude, you know how lucky you are to be dying in a bed? Most people die outside in the cold,
the concrete or whatever, laying on the floor. You're in a bed.
But here's the funny part, dude. So like, we're doing take after take, and Jocelyn, the actress, her part, the blocking includes she has to like have her hand on my chest with a piece of gauze to simulate that she's trying to stop the blood from pouring out. The thing is though, the fake blood is getting stuck to my chest hair, and the gauze is getting stuck to the chest hair. So every time they're pulling her off me, like they're yanking out chest hair, and yanking out.
You
chest
shaved
hair.
the wrong part,
right? but yet you're trying to be dead, so you can't even react to it, right? It's fucked. It'd be cool if you were supposed to be screaming, but you're supposed to be dead. Like a dead corpse is not supposed to scream.
I'm gasping for breath, so I'm dying, and like every time she's drinking off, like that helped my performance because there was no need to fake. Like that shit fucking hurt. But while I'm getting my chest hair ripped out, everyone's like, "Dude, you're so lucky. You get to die." Yeah, I'm lucky, man.
I got no chest hair anymore.
I'm getting a free chest wet.
So then, your scene was with Rusek, right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So he comes in. If I recall, him and who else walks in that scene? Because she's there. She opens the door, and I think Haley's the one that opens the door, or the other one with the little sapito eyes. What's her name? Burgess. I don't think it was Burgess. Well, whatever. So they bust in. Rusek, his dad has been missing or something. So you're one of the suspects who thinks you've killed his father or whatever. So what was your interaction with him? Did you guys talk about it? Did you guys plan something out? Did you guys coordinate? What was the deal? Was it just all direction from the director?
Oh yeah, dude. Like I said, I just like I said, my thing was just not to screw up. So I just kind of went with what the director was directing me to do, and the other in Rusek.
Yep.
I'm not too familiar with
the show. How do you know your scene partner? What's his real name? Patrick. Patrick's easier to say. Let's just go with Patrick.
Why are you looking at me?
You don't watch Chicago PD.
But no, he was a cool guy too, man. He's like, hey, man, you just let me know if I'm going too hard. Let me know if the pressure's right. And he smoked a cigarette. He's like, I apologize, my breath smells. I smoked the cigarette. I'm like, dude, don't worry about it.
Dude, those people smoke so much. Well, he doesn't smoke as much. I think the biggest smoker there is the old man.
No shit. Listen to him.
Smokes, dude. He smokes like nobody's business. Like I was on set one day. Similar story to you. I was an extra, and I wasn't even supposed to be like I was supposed to be there, but then when we went up, the director picked like the 3 other guys, and then just told me to go back downstairs that they didn't need me. Whatever. I'm like, whatever. Kind of pissed, but I was like, whatever. I'm getting paid. Who cares, right? So maybe like 20 minutes later, one of the ADs comes down, and he's like, hey, come here. We got something for you. Cool. So then they put me right at the doorway, and then the cameras are setting up, and there's a camera right in front of me, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a nice look right here. I'm gonna get a nice little look right here. Even though I'm a BG, everybody's gonna know it's me.
My
right?
time to shine.
Right. Seriously. So basically, Patrick and Hawkins, they come in, right? So Patrick bum rushes me. He just pushes me hard as shit. I'm stumbling. He basically tells me to put my hands up. I put my hands up. He kicks me in the back of my knee. I get on my knees, and then he kicks me down to my stomach and starts pushing me with his foot. And I'm just like, this motherfucker.
So wait. Did you know this was all coming? Like,
no, I didn't know it was coming. But that's okay. No big deal. I played it off, right? No big deal. But then he was pretty cool. So at the end, he helped me up. He's like, was that too rough or whatever? No, man, it's part of the show.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Same reaction.
It's all part of the show. No big deal. So he was a pretty cool guy. There was a funny situation in there. So basically, the scene was, so Rusek was supposed to push me and have us at gunpoint, and then Atwater was supposed to chase the one guy who runs away.
Mm-hmm.
So then we were at this bowling alley, this broken down bowling alley, and he was supposed to jump over like this caution tape, right, and run after the guy. The caution tape was probably no higher than like my knee, right? So we go for a take, and Leroy's Hawkins is a pretty big dude.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name on the show? I just said it. Atwater. Atwater's a pretty big dude. So this is why I told John, you guys are not athletic. I hate to break it to you guys. So he goes and he tries to jump over this tape, and he stumbles and falls on his face. And all you hear is do 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 do, and everybody held face, right? Because you got to hold face, right? You can't break. Once they said cut, holy crap! Everybody just starts laughing and laughing and laughing. And I'm like, I knew he was like, why did they even put that there? Because you can't even see it in the scene. Like, why? It's a bowling alley. Even if it's old, I'm pretty sure there's still some oil residue around here somewhere. And this guy's running in like police shoes, Funny as hell. But I mean, it's all in good fun. And he's a really good actor too. So let's keep going with your experience. So you did that. He tried to resuscitate you.
Mm-hmm.
He failed miserably in the show.
I did.
Trying to break your rib cage.
Ripped out your hair. Well, that was the girlfriend.
Yeah, no, it was like I said. I guess overall, it was like I said. Everything else aside, it was a great experience. I actually, what I got most from it, I got to see how real professional actors work, and yeah, man, it was
Inspiring.
It's very inspiring. It was very motivational too, because like during the scene, like there was like and one thing I learned, and this was really cool, because what happened was at one point, like we were rehearsing the scene, and we did a take, and the director, she goes up to the main cast, she's like, all right, let's do another take, and the main guy, the older guy,
damn it, what's his name in the show? The guy with the voice, right?
Yeah, the guy with the raspy voice.
Hoyt.
Sure, like Hoyt. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Hoyt's. Sure. Hoyt's kind of. You can.
That sounds familiar.
He just puts his finger. He's like, no, we're not doing another take. We got it. It's fine. And I'm thinking, shit, I didn't know actors could talk like that to directors. And the director's like, are you sure?
He's not even a big shot like that.
Do it. And the director's
apparently,
like,
apparently in that show's about him, basically.
Yeah.
So, and the director was like, are you sure you don't want to do another take? And the guy was adamant. He's like, no, we got it. We're done. Let's move on. And and I thought this was kind of cool, because like the director, she knew how to pick her battles,
Right.
Any person with an ego would have just kept fighting and pushing for another take, but she was like, okay.
But I think as a director, I think you have to be lenient and trusting.
You definitely
your
do
actors at some point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think what the director says should go, right? Because that's what they get paid for. We are there to make sure we give them what they want.
Exactly.
In my opinion, that's what as an actor, that's what I try to do. If a director tells me, I want you to cry and this and this and this and break your neck over here, then that's what I'm going to try to do, and I will give my insight. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're trying to give them what they want, and not just the director, but the production and the company behind it and all that. Go ahead, John.
Who
Say
are
something.
you fooling? The actors run the show. Come on. You think
he's got a point.
DiCaprio is listening to what the director says?
Well, I think.
I think that's different though. We're talking about
if
DiCaprio.
It's Scorsese, like you
right.
listen.
I mean, if Steven Spielberg tells fucking Leonardo DiCaprio to do something, I'm pretty sure he's gonna fucking do it.
Well, on that show, he's the man, right? You just said he's the man. So
right. But mind you, this
is
is a Chicago-based TV show that's nothing dramatically major. You get what I'm saying? It's a major show, obviously, but it's not like Jurassic Park or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like
the main actor.
Well, he's got a point. Like I think, like obviously, you got different scenarios. Like for Chicago PD, they recycle directors. So So obviously, the main cast is going to call the shots.
No, of course, and they've been there long enough where they kind of know. Especially
they know what
the majority of them have been there for a good amount of time. I mean, the old man's been there for a long time. Obviously, at the beginning, Patrick's been there since the beginning. Atwater's been there. I think the only ones that were kind of shoehorned in was Haley was in, and the Hispanic girl that was there last season that she left randomly and no explanation whatsoever. She was there for a whole season. And then she just randomly disappeared.
I know fall down a flight of stairs.
I wish I could chime in, man, but like
nothing.
They tell a lot. Directors, casting directors, and agents, they tell you watch the Chicago shows, and
I feel like I'm not a big fan of I don't watch it all the time, right? I'll catch it here and there, but I understand why.
Yeah, no,
right? Because you kind of have to know. It's kind of like when you read a script. Like even if you have 2 lines in a script, you want to read the whole thing so you know what's going on, because then it gives you help on how do I deliver my line, because you already know what's going on with him. So like, should I say it? Like, let's say if he's a dick to his wife, then you play, if the director, you got to be a dick. Oh, I know why I'm a dick, because he's a fucking dick. So now I can be easier more to be a dick with him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So reading the whole thing is part of it. Like you have to read the whole thing.
Oh, sure. Like, humans don't talk just for the sake of talking. There's always a reason behind
There's a motivation. There's a motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then you, as an actor, you got to find the reason why you're saying it. That you got to make choices. Essentially, is what I'm trying to.
How many hours were you on set that day?
It wasn't too bad actually. Let me see. I want to say it was like around about a 6-hour day.
Really?
Yeah.
How many? Okay, so you were in that scene. How many takes did it? Who was messing up? Who messed up the most there? I'm just curious, just to see if it's the. It was probably the girl.
No.
Please tell me it was Patrick.
No, and you know what? To her credit, man, like there was a scene where like when they were rehearsing, like one of the actors, he kind of like raised his voice to her, and like she, I was impressed. She stood her ground. She's like, hey, don't talk to me like that. If we want to,
really?
Oh yeah, dude, it was cool. That's what I'm saying. It was cool seeing how other actors work with each other. Like it's very like a job like environment. Like, hey, I'm here to work. I'm here to do a job. Let's fucking get through this.
Right.
And but yeah, no, I was my scene took about 6-7 hours, about that. So
it's funny because then you look at the scene on TV and it's only like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. And then you wonder why movies take so long, right? Because like I have my scene in Light Years, they gave me the whole script for the first episode, right? And it's a fucking thing like this big, and I'm like, God damn, this is one fucking episode. I'm like, they literally must take this like maybe a page and a half a day, and especially on a bigger movie. I mean, you probably can only take it about a page and a half a day, or a scene per day, or 2 scenes per day. Because I mean, there's no way, like there's just too much going on, to record too much at one time.
It's great. Yeah, no, obviously what you see, what the finished product does not represent what the effort that was put into
hell
it.
no.
Just a simple lighting change.
I mean, imagine
this
this fucking thing takes me 45 minutes maybe, and this is nothing. And I mean, when you go on set,
it's a good set. It's a good set, bro.
No, but then you start to see some major league toys. And it's like they got freaking trolleys and fucking tracks and this and lights on cameras on cars and this and all this crap. It's ridiculous how much stuff goes into it. I
100% agree. But dude, tell me, dude, let's talk about your dude. Like I'm geeking out because J.K. Simmons, man, he's the man. He's like, I'm always so impressed with how like genuinely smart these like Hollywood A-list actors are. For example, like J.K. Simmons, he's not just an actor, but he's also like he has like a degree of he's like a musician.
Selling insurance.
Dude, he's got like a degree like jazz music. Something or something. So
he seems like one of those guys that like there's a lot in that head.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just has that kind of aura about him. Like I'm trying to think of someone else who would be like him, but like he's kind of unique. Obviously, I remember him mostly from like the Spider-Man movies, right? Because that was like the one I remember as a kid, you know, in the early 2000s. How old are you right now?
I'm 30 years young.
Okay, so you're in our ballpark, so we're good. You know, Spider-Man in what 2000, 2001, whatever year, and him playing J. Jonah Jameson, and this was coming off the heels of watching like Spider-Man the animated TV show, and J. Jonah Jameson in that show was amazing, and that cartoon show was like perfect, like
perfect superhero movie casting to date. It doesn't get better than that.
Grab that cartoon character and put him in a live action movie, and you have magic, and he was perfect for it, you know. And then it's funny because there's a bunch of memes for him now, right? Because the laughing thing, or are you serious, or whatever, that type of shit. That's so legendary. And then,
but I got to chime in for a second because you know there was a scene where like you know in the Spider-Man movie where Green Goblin says no, actually taking it back a little bit in the Dark Knight, different movie, completely different. But the Dark Knight says you know when he's in the interrogation room he talks to another cop and he says something along the lines of in their last dying moments a person shows you who they truly are. And then I remember thinking to that Spider-Man movie, like even though J. Jonah Jameson is a hard ass and he seems to have no feelings, like. When the Green Goblin was...
He defended him.
He defended his partner. He didn't give him up. He did not break, dude.
He didn't give him up. You're right. You're absolutely right.
To me, that was like, that respect. I would have sung like a bird.
That whole thing. And then the fact that like J.K. Simmons has worked with so many people, right? And that's what makes it even more amazing to actually talk to this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's worked with William Dafoe. He's worked with James Franco. He's worked with countless other A-listers that he's worked with. I mean, he plays Commissioner Gordon in the Justice League movie. So I mean, there's a lot of people in that one. Henry Cavill, there's Ben Affleck.
Are you gonna faint? I feel like you're gonna faint. You might get woozy.
So I'm probably gonna be fucking nervous really bad. I hope I get like 2 words with him prior. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to because
well, you got to get a picture though first. I mean, you know what? You have to get.
That's where I got to work up my guts on that one.
Kind of professional.
That's the thing. I kind of got to be
maybe
professional.
Towards the end.
Yeah, if I see him, you know, in catering or whatever, then maybe I'll ask him or something.
So the quick question: you think it's better to book a show where you know everybody and you're gonna be starstruck, or book something where you have no idea who anybody is?
I'll let you.
Wouldn't that be
first.
easier?
I mean, at this point in my life, I'll take whatever I could get. To be honest with you, you know, if they're gonna throw me like if it's trial by fire, like with a J.K. Simmons scene, well, shit, let's go for it. You know, you're not gonna say no.
I will say one thing. I will say to that. It's like again, I'll use sports. I'll use sports as a
reference.
Yeah, reference. So like, you know, when they say you learn to play by playing people that are better than you.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're going to keep acting with people that are at your level, you know, not saying that you can't learn from that and get better at that, but it's different because you said it yourself. Like you watch other actors that are really, really good, you pick up stuff. So why not have scenes with Oscar winners or whatever and see what it is? Because once you get to that point, I mean, how much higher can you get than an Oscar winner?
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So then you start to, your nerves are not so jacked up because obviously you've kind of dealt with this already. You know, you can be in the same scene and be professional and be accurate and be good or whatever. To me, this is a landmark for me, even though I know it's a, you know, small scene or whatever. It was a baby step for me, or this is a huge step for me. But let me say that right, because he's an Oscar winner.
Baby step.
I wanted to take my career in baby steps, you know, and I think I did that. But this step is pretty big because obviously who I'm in the scene with. But I think being in a scene with him is going to help me in the sense of watching what he does.
Oh,
you know, because he's an Oscar winner. That's the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing higher than that.
And you know, in American cinema, that's as top tier as you get.
That's it. Like, that's the goal of every actor is to cross that stage, and he's crossed that stage. He's took one of those gold men home. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's a whole different can of worms. And just to see how he reacts to certain things, I might throw him something just to see how he reacts, just because I'm curious. You know, he's probably gonna have to lead the dance, but I'm just saying. But I don't know. I'm probably gonna be starstruck, but I mean, I have a job to do, right? We all get paid, right? We have to perform at some point. So obviously jitters. I don't know how you are. I'm usually pretty nervous up, you know, until the first take is over. Then I kind of, okay, I'm good, you know?
Well, I mean,
The adrenaline's always there in the first one, and then the second one, it's like, okay, I'm better.
I guess that also depends because I've done commercials in the past. I don't get too nervous for commercials because it's just I don't know. It's
basic.
Yeah. I guess it's like I said, I'm you're always happy that you book something, but at the end of the day, if it's commercial, you don't have a passion for it. You just want to get paid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you do get nervous, there's always kombucha with
That's
the 5% to help you through it.
I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you what. I made a good amount of money doing a commercial.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind landing.
What'd you book?
I booked. Well, this was years ago. This was with the Walmart commercial that I did.
Right.
I mean, I took home almost $40,000.
Holy shit! Damn.
For a national commercial. I wouldn't mind booking 2 commercials a week.
He wants to be the next Flo.
No, I don't want to be the
That's
next.
what he
No,
wants
don't
to
get me
be.
wrong.
I would not mind being the next.
I mean, how
Flo.
much
being
she
the next
probably
Flo?
gets paid?
Oh, she's a millionaire.
Yes,
She's
but
a
I mean,
millionaire.
she's probably in the same boat that I would be in, where like that becomes stagnant. And the problem with that is that now everyone knows her as that.
Yeah.
So like it's gonna be like a Screech thing again.
Shit, fine by me.
No, I get it, but at some point, there, anything can happen. You can lose popularity, and then they'll drop you. You get what I'm saying? So like it kind of goes with the Sprint guy,
Subway,
or the Sprint guy. The Sprint guy was really big on Verizon, right? Then they dropped him. I don't know. I think he had an issue or whatever. Sprint picked him up or whatever. He's over there with T-Mobile and Sprint now, but like they can drop you at any point. And then what do? Now you're stuck with the character that they built for you, kind of like Screech from Saved by the Bell. You can never get over that Screech gimmick, or the guy from Family Matters.
True.
Well,
I guess at that point you just kind of hope that you wisely saved your money,
or any of the Power Rangers. I mean, they're just signing autographs now, which is fine because they make money off that. But like, it's hard for them to find work
they
because
make money.
They're so known for being that particular thing, and that's it.
Yeah, well, man.
But you don't know if that's the case though. Maybe they just like the royalties coming in, and that's it.
Maybe
that's what they want.
Maybe it is, but I'm assuming if they're an actor, right? I'm assuming you want to act at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? I mean, and think about it. How many sitcom actors have made it big? There's not many because they're usually stuck there. I mean, and I'm talking about like main cast. So like the only one I really know that really was really successful was Will Smith. He was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he blew up in movies as well. I mean, there's some.
There's really a couple.
Oh, there's a handful. There's Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, she made it big.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
How many did it?
Yeah.
How many did it?
Yeah, that's true.
And the ones that really don't.
Why?
Sure, but like, okay, I'll tell you one. The guy who played Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, he constantly tries to be in movies, but he always gets small budget movies, which he's probably getting paid pretty well, which is fine. But I'm assuming that's not good enough, right? Because if I'm an actor and I've made it to a level where I'm an A-lister, like I want to be an A-lister. You get what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have that itch to be the best.
Yeah,
it's like when we make fun of LeBron, like you gotta want to win a championship, right? Because if not, then you're not. What are you doing it for?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because if you're not trying to win a championship, what are you playing for? Let somebody else who actually wants to win a championship. No,
I mean, I guess it's man, Hollywood. This business is brutal, man. It really is.
No, it is.
It is. Once you get to the top, man, can you imagine how hard it is? That's what you got. I get mad respect for Leonardo DiCaprio. I feel like whenever you think of movie star, I think of Leonardo DiCaprio. For him to be that guy for like the last 2 decades,
but he was really good even when he was really young.
He was phenomenal.
If you look back at his like auditions when he was a kid, basically, he was
Yeah.
still really good.
Oh, what's Eating Gilbert Grape? You ever see that?
I'm pretty sure we're looking at the same audition. I mean, I didn't see the movie, but I think I'm looking at the same audition because there was an audition that's really popular of his, and I'm assuming it's for something similar like that.
He's playing in a mentally disabled character.
I feel like that's what it is.
And it's so. And
how old was he? Was he really, really young?
He was young. I would say he was probably like he was a teenager, probably like.
I want to say it was because I looked up like I like looking up stuff. I like looking up auditions and behind the scenes stuff. And
what I like to do? I like to look up bad acting. Because
I never tried that one.
I'm just saying you could learn a lot.
Wait, I got it. I watched it all the time. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I watched it all.
I was gonna say, just watch any of the stuff you've done.
Oh God! Wow, you're a dick.
Don't talk about Arnold.
Punches are thrown now,
man. Don't talk about Arnold.
I don't. No, I'll say this. Though.
What's your stance on Arnold?
I love Arnold. Arnold, and I'll say this. And any actor that's in a big Hollywood movie, they're good actors. Even if they're not, you always have an actor that's really technically good. You know, they know where to look, they know how to deliver their lines, they have choices prepared. So anybody that books one of these really big premiere roles, like they know how to act. But no, you ever see like terrible prank shows or anything, and like the people that are trying to act,
it's pretty awful.
Like they're so terrible and cringy, and I just look at it, and I learn just as much from their horrible acting as I do from like watching.
Don't do this, don't do that.
Well, dude,
of course.
It like you'd be surprised, man. Like you could get a lot from seeing people.
Well, Michael, you're saying that you like to watch these videos. Watch Arnold talking about how he booked the Terminator role.
How do you book the Terminator role?
He actually, it was supposed to be O.J. Simpson.
I did know that.
And he was talking to who's the James
Cameron.
Yeah, he was talking to him, and he was like, "Well, you know, he's a robot, so he can't be looking to see where his gun is at, so he has to just grab it without seeing it." It was really interesting, and he ended up booking it because the director was like, "You know what? This guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what."
I don't think I've ever said that he was not perfect for that role. I think he was perfect.
But it's just the thought he put into it that got him that role.
I will tell you one thing. If you compare his performance to Robert Patrick's performance, because Robert Patrick basically did the same thing in part 2. He didn't speak much. He was robotic.
Yeah.
He played better than Arnold Schwarzenegger for who played a better robot. Robert Patrick played a better robot because he was more. He as great as Arnold was. Don't get me wrong, but he was intimidating because of his size and his stature.
Yeah.
More than because he didn't say anything in the movie. What did he say in the movie? What was that line when he cut his eye out and the guy's knocking on the door? Like, "You got a dead cut in there? Fuck you, asshole," or whatever. Right? I mean, he didn't really say much in that movie. Robert Patrick had more lines, but he was more terrifying in my opinion. Mind you, he was the smaller guy, and it was great to see those two fight. Right? That whole movie was awesome. Like the fact that he could throw around Arnold was pretty fucking cool. But like the way Patrick ran, the way he would look at things. Like there's some deleted scenes of when he's scanning with his fingers or whatever, and like the bonus features or whatever. That's freaking cool.
I think probably Arnold that told him how to do all
you're giving
that.
Him a little too much credit.
I can almost
You're
guarantee.
Giving him a little too much credit.
No, he was good. I remember in grammar school they would have us run laps. And I did my best. Yeah.
I don't think Arnold is a bad actor. He's good at what he does. I just don't think you can put him in the same conversation with Oscar winners. You can't, because mind you, he's never been nominated for any Oscar ever. I mean, and there's a reason for that. Not that he's not good. I mean, there's a lot of actors that make a lot of money.
He's a bad actor.
I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, who do you consider to be a good actor? What's your definition of a good actor?
Oh, we already
Leonardo
know the
DiCaprio is a good
answer
actor.
But why? What makes him a good actor? Like to me, like because you could make the same argument. Because I've had friends that say that they're not big fans of Leo because they feel like he just does the same thing in every single role he plays.
I feel like you lose.
No, that's not my opinion.
I think you lose yourself when you lose yourself into a character, right? And you kind of forget who the actual actor is. I think you're doing something special. Like you watch Scarface, it's Pacino, right? You kind of forget that it's Pacino, and you kind of believe, like people know him as Tony Montana, right? You get that. That's the crazy part. Like people don't even reference him sometimes as Al Pacino.
But you know what? I love the movie. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't believe he was a Cuban at all.
He wasn't.
Come on,
he fucking wasn't. But I mean, he wasn't a Puerto Rican either in Carlito's way.
So would you say? So you think the mark of a great actor is someone who essentially is a chameleon who could be
right? Like you kind of lose yourself. Like you kind of lose who they are. Mm-hmm. You know, you forget that it's like Heath Ledger or whatever. Like with the Joker thing, with the Joker thing, and I'm
you completely forgot. You forgot that was Heath Ledger.
You almost thought like the Joker was the actor. You know what I'm saying? Like in the credits, I'm looking for Joker played Joker or whatever. You get what I'm saying?
I think the makeup had something to do with it.
No, his performance had it. His performance
everything together.
His performance had it. He was so like different than who he was, right? And like Gary Oldman's another one for me.
Oh. Fuck, Gary Oldman. Oh my goodness.
I can't take all this Gary Oldman love.
Dude, Gary Oldman is a monster. You're fucking nuts. See, and this is why I give him shit.
Who's better, Gary Oldman or Christian Bale?
Christian Bale.
No, I'm gonna say Gary.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Gary.
We're split down the middle.
I'm gonna say Gary. Where do you stand?
Man, I don't know. I was really hoping you guys could sway me one way or another.
Love Christian Bale. I think Christian Bale is really fucking good.
Because if you want to talk about chameleons, that man is a chameleon.
He's really fucking good.
You ever see him? You guys ever see him in Vice, where he plays Dick Cheney?
Yeah. Oh my god. The first time I saw the trailer to that movie, I didn't even know it was him.
Exactly.
I was like, holy fuck! And I know that's a lot of
losing yourself
a lot of
in a role.
Exactly. If you want to talk about losing yourself in a role,
that was ridiculous. But a lot of times I see Christian Bale, but you see Christian Bale in a lot of movies too. So like he played in the Terminator movie and the whatever it was called. Like it's just Christian Bale. He's not playing John Connor or whatever. It's just Christian Bale. In the Batman ones, do I really honestly see him as Bruce Wayne, or do I see Christian Bale? I see more Christian Bale than I see a Bruce Wayne per se. I'm not saying he did bad.
You can do that and still be a good actor.
No, yes, I agree. But I think what makes you unique is if you can change who and what you are and what roles you can play. Arnold can't really do that. First of all, Arnold's too damn big. So you only can book him in roles that need a big guy. Normally when you book a big guy.
Not his fault.
I get it. But when you normally book a big guy, it's not a romantic comedy or whatever, or it's usually an action flick. That's usually his MO, right? So he's usually been in the same kind of movies his entire career.
Like, I'll give
The
you
Rock's in the same boat right now too.
Matthew McConaughey.
He's
Every
good.
role he plays, it's Matthew McConaughey, but he's good. I like
you know
it.
What? Okay, I can see that one. I can see that one.
I think what makes a good actor, aside from being a chameleon, aside from being the fact that you lose track of who they are in their performance because they completely change their persona. I also think it's just a matter of how that performance impacted you, whether or not you recognize them, right? And I'll give you an example, like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler.
Oh yeah,
like that scene, his character is essentially his life. That he didn't. I mean, obviously, there's.
Did you watch that movie, John?
Oh yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
Beautiful movie. And there was that scene where he's like at the pier and he's talking to his daughter about I just don't want you to think about. Oh, dude, that brought me to tears. And to me, that was a beautiful performance because it was so genuine. It was so heartfelt. And I knew it was Mickey Rourke. And to me, that's what made a great performance.
You didn't see Jake the Snake and Mickey Rourke. Was that who he was playing?
No. Was it Jake the
Snake? Yeah.
I thought it was a made up character.
He was playing a fictional character.
It was a fictional character. It was probably loosely
based off.
Well, Mickey Rourke. Well, he was a boxer his entire life. So and it was just there was a lot of resemblance between the character and his real life. They're both down their luck guys. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's good too. I agree with you. I think what makes everything kind of real is when it feels real. Right, like it actually feels like this is a person, and again, this is obviously you don't have to change your character. There's some people just have it. Arnold, unfortunately for me, I don't ever believe anything he's. To me, Terminator's been the best thing. That was his gift in life. Was Terminator.
He was great in True Lies too.
Yeah, you're forgetting about that.
Yeah, and you know why? You know why he was so great in that? Because he was. He brought his normal his normal MO action, but he also brought humor and lightheartedness, and he looked like he was having fun, and that was a different side to Arnold. So that's why I think maybe you're not giving him enough credit for his versatility.
I don't think he's seen every Arnold movie. Have you seen The Running Man?
I think I've seen enough.
Twins, dude. Twins.
He was
amazing.
But
in
I think
Twins.
Danny DeVito carried that movie.
What?
No, it was a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic. They were both so good, and they both fed off each other brilliantly.
I don't think he's again. I don't think he's an actor, right? He gets paid obviously for a reason. He gets paid. My question I've always asked, and this is about most of the bigger guys that are in the film industry, would they be in the film industry if they weren't their size or as big as they are? Like, would Arnold Schwarzenegger be as famous as he is right now at 80, whatever he is, if he wasn't a bodybuilder?
Yeah.
No, most likely not. That was his claim to fame. That's what I know. That's what
how he got attention.
I mean, I think that dude has drive like you don't understand.
No, I understand that, but you got to remember, he literally broke in because of his size.
I get it.
So
I get it.
And he made it big quick because they needed a big guy with no lines that was perfect for a novice actor. Because I think he was pretty. I don't know what else he was doing prior to that, but I mean, he was bodybuilding, but I don't know if he did any films or anything.
John, you ever see Pumping Iron?
Of course he has. He has it on replay in his fucking house. He has the poster in his room.
Give him more credit than that.
Dude, that's his biggest. That dude loves Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He is so charismatic in that. Obviously, it's it's just there's no acting. It's just him being him. But dude, oh man, it was supposed to be a documentary about the bodybuilding, but it
became a movie about him.
It really was, dude.
Yeah.
Like that, because that was just charisma that you cannot teach.
That's why I think eventually he would have made. I don't think he'd have as much success, but he would have had some type of success.
But do you think there's a lot of people in this world that are charismatic though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He stood out because he was as big as he was, right? So if you take away that, is his talent as an actor good enough to push him forward? That's where I'm like, I don't know.
I think that man works.
Him. It's not
that
just
man
him.
Works.
I think it's a lot of these bigger dudes that are actors. The Rock falls into the same boat. Batista, John Cena, all these dudes fall into the same boat. Where like, if they hadn't had a name for themselves prior to going into the film industry, would they be as big? You know, because John Cena's about to be in a real big movie right now this summer with Fast and 20, whatever the hell they're at.
He's going to be in Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, so I mean, he's making a career out of it. He's moved away from the garbage bag commercials that he used to have, the hefty ones. So he's moving up. But I mean, would you be as big as you are if you weren't John Cena from the WWE? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or you weren't a bodybuilder? Would you have made it? And I think this is where I feel like Heath Ledger's in a league of he's in a league of his own, because he made it without being anything physically big or whatever. He made it because he has a skill.
Oh, and he's just happened to be very, very good looking too. I mean,
same thing with Gary Oldman. Can we say he's a handsome dude? I don't know. I mean, when he was younger, I guess he wasn't bad to look at.
He was a good looking dude.
But he had talent.
Oh, for miles, bro.
Did I send you that video of like all the different characters he's played?
I think
like I have.
No.
You probably didn't watch it because you saw Gary Oldman.
Yeah, just probably.
It would have been Arnold Schwarzenegger. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Yeah. Replay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. All his characters were like different. They all felt different. Oh, and I think that's what's awesome about him. No characters feel the same.
What was it? He played that one role in that one movie, but oh my god, we had Bruce Willis in it. It had Chris Tucker in it. It takes place in the future. He plays like
a Fifth Element.
A Fifth Element, yes.
Fifth Element?
Yeah,
that one?
Gary. Yeah, Fifth
I think it was
Gary Oldman plays the villain.
Oh, he's like a villain or whatever.
He has that weird thing going on his hair going.
Yeah. He's like kind of what they're doing now with like the baldness thing, and then like
It wasn't until years later where I realized, holy shit, that's Commissioner Gordon from the Batman. Yeah. Like I would never have thought that.
Nobody really knows who Gary. Like normal people, not obviously we know because we know the quality of work. But like you tell people Gary Oldman, they're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, right.
And then if you break it down to, because he's never really been the hero, right? He's always a really good fucking villain, and that's okay. Make your living off being a fucking villain. See, right? Fuck it.
You know, in a picture perfect world, I think that's the kind of career I would strive to. I would want to strive to.
That's the one I'm going to end up having because I fucking look like a gangbanger time.
It's hilarious. It's like what Kevin Hart says. He's snap finger famous. Who's that fucking guy?
There you go. Guy. See, that's what I want to do. That's I'm a working actor. Nobody. Like, I could walk down the street. Nobody knows who I am. But like maybe like, where is he?
But if you break it down and you start looking at what he's done, he's an amazing actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's ridiculously talented, and it's just like I feel like he's an underrated actor because nobody really knows who he is. Because again, he's always been the bad guy.
They know who he is. They just don't remember the name. I guess that's all it is.
But speaking of which, we went totally away from what you were trying to do with your career, with his career.
Well, let's come back, bro.
All right. Back. So, what are you going? You just got booked, right, for a pretty big deal now, right?
Well, let's see how it turns out, man. You never know. But yeah, I booked a lead in a made-for-TV movie that's going to premiere on Lifetime. So
awesome.
Yeah. Well, then that's what they told my agent. So
hey, that's great.
Yeah, like I said, I'm always cautiously optimistic when I you get like these big projects because you never know what they're going to cut out, what they're going to leave in. So I always like to just be as modest as possible, just in the worst case scenario.
You got to be proud of what you got.
No, definitely.
You got something that a lot of us want to get to. You know, and you have a talent. I mean, you have a great look. And I've seen you do some things. You have a sense of honesty to what you do. You know, from what I think. If we took a couple classes together,
which by the way, man, you were phenomenal. I
mean, I try. That's what I do. I try. Sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I get lucky. You have a great look, and I think you're really capable of doing a lot of things. And that's great that you got it. Man, be proud of that shit.
Thank
man.
you. I mean, thank you.
You literally got a lead role. I mean, how many of us want to get a lead role?
I think we all do.
And one day we all will get there, but you've gotten there, and that's awesome, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate
it. You get an applause for that.
I pat myself on the back for once.
John, what do you get? Let me see.
Why is that? What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Whatever.
They're laughing with you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So you booked that. When are you shooting? Have you gotten any information when you're starting or whatever?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, well, we have our table read on Sunday, but we're also going to do hair and makeup that day too. Get all the wardrobe because it's it's a lifetime. It's a made for TV lifetime movie. So these they kind of it's like a production assembly. They just crank one after another. But that doesn't mean the quality is going to be bad or anything. It's just
do it, man. That's
exactly.
what you got to do.
Right. It's just
It's a stepping stone.
They got to do like a slow mo of him running with his hair free. That's got to be in there.
Oh my god! That's like my dream for me to have a scene like that.
You go like this.
Maybe that's why they booked me. I'm not complaining. Well, the funny thing was, dude, like, okay, this made my head blow up because Vilma, from Dream Team Talent, her name is Vilma. She's my agent. I'm gonna be referencing her a lot, so I'm just gonna say Vilma from now on.
Okay.
Yeah, and she mentioned to me that they had booked an African American actor for the dad, so that's who they were looking for, an African American actor.
Okay.
But I being so captivating and amazing in my performance.
You're adopted. you're gonna be the adopted. It was a father, you said?
The father, yeah.
So you're adopted.
The father was black, and he was casted, and then they saw me and like, oh man, we got to have this guy. So they booked me for the lead. But unfortunately, I don't think I could pass for black. So you're
a little light, a little bit.
I haven't been out in the sun as much as I usually am. But no, they unfortunately fired that actor. Now, right.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's part of the business.
Watch it on set.
Well, you know what, dude? That's the business, dude. One time I got fired from a commercial that I booked because I didn't want to cut my hair.
I can see that being
why
a problem.
Would you?
I mean, Why would you? Yeah,
bro. And I mean,
unless it comes with a lot of money.
Well, here's the thing, dude. I auditioned. I got a call back, and I booked it. And then my other agent, she called me up, and she's like, "Hey, and this was like a day before we were going to shoot the commercial, and it wasn't going to pay that much. I think it was probably like about between like the 8 days they needed me. I think it was probably like $9,000 or something. Okay, 7-9 grand, which is a good chunk of money, but." Yeah, anyway, so they booked me, they cast me, they had all my sizes, all my information, everything was ready to go, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they were like, the production team wants to know if you're willing to cut your hair. Like, I mean, why would you even book me in the first place if you know this is how I audition?
I mean, at least that should be the first question. Like, we need you to cut your hair. Like, if you're gonna come at me and tell me I got to shave my beard, I mean, my beard's really precious to me because it's the only hair I got left. So I mean, if you really want me to shave, I would hope you tell me like, okay, in order for you to get this, you need to shave.
I don't know. $9,000 for cutting your hair. That seems pretty good.
Pretty good deal.
Didn't I tell you last week that I was considering giving one of my testicles away for $35,000? So cutting my hair wouldn't be a
big deal.
No,
because that's okay
for $35,000. that's something worth thinking. I mean, don't blow it off completely.
$9,000 for cutting your hair. I mean,
but everybody has their look. I mean, that's understandable. For you to say you don't want to, I get it, right? I mean. Obviously, we're in a different situation because we're new and we're novice and whatever. But I mean, everybody has their thing. I mean, if you love your hair, you can have your hair. If I like my beard. I mean, if you're gonna tell me, okay, shave, we'll give you $400. No.
Don't you give me willing to shave
$2,000 and
on your thing?
Huh?
Don't you always say you're willing to shave?
Yeah, but this is different now because when you're an agent, you have a minimum that you have to get paid.
Okay.
When you book something, so I have a minimum, and I'm okay with my minimum. And if they tell me to shave, I'll shave for my minimum. It's all right. And anything more than that.
I got a question for you, man. So as an actor, what would you ever play a gay role?
A gay role? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Oh, I like that. You said it with no fear. Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it.
I think you have to be able to John, I just feel you laughing.
What?
I can feel your laughter.
Well, the reason I bring that up is because I was watching a snippet of Jake Gyllenhaal's interview on Howard Stern and how
when he was in Brokeback Mountain.
Exactly, how was he in Brokeback Mountain? But like the role was offered to a lot of other actors before. Mark Wahlberg turned it down because
I could see him being too macho for that.
Exactly my point. And funny enough, one of the reasons why Christopher Nolan casted Heath Ledger as a Joker was because of his performance in the
Brokeback Mountain.
Exactly. Yeah. He saw this guy was fearless.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, and it kind of brings me back to coming back full circle. It's like, I guess how fearless are you willing to go?
I mean, here's the thing. So I was watching, and again in Black Box, they teach us, well, they have this concept of, the stage is Vegas, and what happens in Vegas, everything stays in Vegas. Once you get out of Vegas, then that's real life. right? So like, I mean, you could be whatever you want in here. It doesn't matter. You could be a dick. You could be gay. You could be straight. You could be a woman. You could do whatever you want here because once you step out, it doesn't matter. It's all acting. It's all fake, right? Obviously, there has to be some genuine to it, right? Because if you're going to play a gay man, you probably should be a gay man. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, work to really give
embrace the role.
Embrace the role, right? I'm not afraid of that. I mean, there's some things I won't do. Like I turned down an audition because I didn't like the script. There was a lot of verb language that I don't like using, right? For my personal reasons. So there's things I won't do. But when, you know, playing gay or whatever, that's not a big deal. I mean, I'll do it. I mean, it's part of the role. At the end of the day, once they say cut, it's over with, right? And then I was you know what? I was watching a thing about Jack Nicholson, and it's an old video, and he was saying, you have to learn how to do things that you're probably going to get embarrassed by. Yeah. Right? And people are probably going to talk about it, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, you're doing it for a reason, and you have to give it all that you got. And what happened with him? He's getting paid a lot of money to do what he does.
He just happens to be one of the biggest acting legends.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's all. You know, like, I mean, why not? I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, mind you, he did great in that movie, and I don't think he's he's a good actor, but I don't think he's like a super A-lister, right? He's kind of like lower tier A. Because I mean, he's not in a lot of things anymore. He's not in a lot of things anymore. He's kind of like Tobey Maguire.
He was just in Spider-Man: Homecoming, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, but before that, what else was he in?
Southpaw. He got.
Oh yeah, never mind. I take that back.
I'm sorry. Before that,
I take that back.
No, he's a very. I consider him to be a low. He's a low key. He's one of those A-lister. Exactly.
I forgot he was in Southpaw.
Oh, phenomenal.
I forgot, and it was a good movie.
He was phenomenal.
I forgot. Wow. Actually, I take that back. I feel so bad right now.
You know, I had an audition yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Have you auditioned for Ripple Effect? Did you get anything for that?
I think I did.
That's Leonardo DiCaprio's.
Yes, show. I did. Yes, I did. I auditioned. Yeah, Bodyguard.
Bodyguard?
Yeah,
I feel like I did that one too.
Yeah, what was your line? Did they have you say something like, "There's glass all over the place"? What the fuck? You know, in Spanish.
No, maybe it wasn't that. Oh, yeah, maybe it was something like that. I have one right here actually that I was doing the other day for. I was going to play a clerk or a store clerk, and I feel good about this one. It's crazy. Like, this is the first one where I'm like, you know what? I look believable. Like, I look all right. I played it off with. I'll show it to you later. I actually played it off with an ID and everything. I was checking some girl's ID, and she's underage, trying to buy booze or whatever, and I send her on her way or whatever. But it's interesting. That's another thing that I find amazing, right? So like, how many people probably got this? Right? How many people probably auditioned for this?
Oh, probably easily dozens.
Okay, I'd go even more. I'd probably say we're looking at maybe in the good and maybe 100. I would say, because I mean, they get the way it works from my understanding is the casting agent comes to the cities, whatever, and then they start looking at the talent agencies that are around, and then they start looking for what they want in their cast or whatever in their group of actors that they have.
Yes, whoever fits the specs.
Right. So like, I could have the same audition that he's got, and we have different agencies, right? So imagine all the agencies, they grab X amount of people, then they pick 2 or 3 callbacks or whatever, then they pick one. Like, I landed, he landed a couple gigs, I landed a couple gigs. I'm like, man, out of all these people, they picked me. You know, even if it's small. I know John is like, it's just 3 lights, but I'm like, it's amazing.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
No, what is it?
I'm saying
how competitive. How
hard is it to get something?
Even the littlest role.
No, I understand that. I didn't. The role that the clerk one, I didn't see that one, or you didn't tell me about that.
Oh, I did that one with Joey and Mina last weekend. But I was really happy about that one.
I definitely understand what you're talking about.
That's crazy to think. Like, that's why I don't get upset when they tell me no anymore. Because there's so many people that they try this, you know?
You know what I do after I finish an audition? I delete it and don't even think about it. It's done. It's in the past. Moving on, man. Because that's the only way I could keep my sanity. Because prior, I used to when I
should have sent that file.
Checking your emails every day.
Oh, dude, yeah, right. No, I would obsess over it, But now it's just like, well, it's done. It's over with. Moving on.
Yeah, you just gotta keep going.
Exactly, man. Because if you dwell on something too much, it'll drive you.
I think the other thing I got really comfortable with was how I look because I feel like that's an issue when you first start. Like, I gotta look a certain way, or I gotta look like, you know, I gotta get this side because it's my good side or whatever. Like, I think this helped out with that too. So like, I don't care. I mean, I know what I look like already. Like, I've seen it enough on screen where I'm like, okay,
You're a very good looking man. You're a handsome man.
That's a good looking man right there.
That's a good looking man.
That's a good looking man right there.
Yeah, right.
You got those.
You got the colored eyes, boy.
That doesn't. It's just so do millions of other people in this world.
You know,
That's a weapon.
You know, I was watching Lord of the Rings extended version, and all I could do was focus on Elijah Wood's blue eyes. That was the I think that's why he got cast. That's all
there's a lot of the colored eyes is a thing.
Exactly.
I'm waiting for the next Hobbit movie because I'm about that size. So I think I'd be good for like a swole Hobbit.
A swole Hobbit.
A swole Hobbit.
Got to be swole, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to keep talking, or any other topics you want to touch on?
Yeah, man. So just going back to that Lifetime movie, bro. It's something I'm very excited about, man. It's like I said,
Give us a title. Did you give us a title?
Can you give it?
I don't know how much I could say or not.
Could you sign?
Sign contracts and everything.
Yeah. So I just keep it. I mean, if I Google the name of the show, would it pop up?
Well, it's a made-for-TV movie, so it's not a show. I don't know.
A movie. I mean, if I was to Google it, would it pop up?
Maybe. I actually haven't even Googled it myself. So you're more than welcome to.
I think if that happens, then I'm pretty sure it's pretty safe to say that what project you're attached to, and your main cast, right?
You don't want to get this man fired.
No. I know. I mean, I wouldn't say give us details of the script, right? But I mean, I'm assuming the title. If I can Google the title and his picture's attached to it, I'm pretty sure he can say, this is what it is. Because like I didn't ask if I could talk about Lightyear, at least that I booked it or whatever. But then you can Google it and J.K. Simmons is on it. So I mean, I can say it's pretty obvious that I can say J.K. Simmons is on a show I'm going to be on. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
I don't think that's not a non-disclosure situation.
Well, whatever the case is, the movie is called Web of Deceit.
Okay, cool.
Web of Deceit.
Web of Deceit.
And and obviously I'm not sure when it's going to premiere or when it's coming out, but my character's name is Nick McDermott.
Okay.
And I play a young, successful restaurateur who's engaged to this beautiful woman named Brianna, but at the same time, I guess you could say I'm cheating on her with my bartender Christina.
All right, let's leave it right there because that'll get people to watch. Let's leave it right there.
No, and there's a lot of twists and I finished reading the script and you know what, dude, I actually enjoyed it a lot, dude.
That's awesome.
I was very pleasantly surprised. Not that I was expecting anything bad or anything, but like I didn't expect to actually enjoy it as much as I did. So
you're nervous about carrying a lead?
You know what? Now that I read the script, I'm less nervous because the story you see it unfolding from the eyes of the Brianna character. So she's the main character, but that actually does take pressure off me because now I don't have to carry the entire film. It's just it's a collaborative effort, which always is the case. But it's like I said, I don't mind not being as frequently shown on screen.
Don't minimize it. You're the lead. I want you to go on set and set that director straight. You say, I am the lead.
This is what I want.
My way or the highway.
I think I found a new manager, bro.
I think he could be your fucking bodyguard.
Yeah.
John, how much do you bench and squat and deadlift? I have to know.
Squat, not so good. Deadlift.
Don't be modest. We're nice. This is no
I could
time for
probably
modesty.
hit 5 something.
Nice.
Bench 405.
Oof.
So
you didn't give the squat number, man. What do you squat?
Because it's embarrassing. I don't know because I don't really squat. I got bad knees, and I feel like that's the.
Well, how many reps of 225 can you do? I'll be honest. In my prime, I could do maybe about 15 reps. That was the years ago. Now I'm lucky if I could max out at 225.
That would be my prime too, like 15 times. I don't know. I never really tried. Squats wasn't my thing.
But you have some pretty big legs, man.
Yeah, I mean,
just
I've
genetics.
been hitting them 2 times a week, so they're getting a little bit.
Can't skip
bigger.
leg day, man.
I know.
How are you gonna be like? How you gonna be like
well,
your
like
favorite person
else.
in the
you
world?
go to the gym and you bench press and you do arms for the first like 2.5 years, 3 years,
that's what,
and then you got to play catch up
what
with
the
your
girls
lower
like.
body. Oh yeah, that's what they like.
Is that what they like?
I don't know. You know what? To be honest, my girl, she's not really big on that. Like when I was in the gym at one point in my life, I mean, she liked it, but it wasn't like, she goes, I like you better now. You look like a man now. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of flabby, but okay, cool. I don't know what that
bod,
means. I guess. I mean, I'm pretty lucky that I'm pretty thin overall. But it is catching up to me. I mean, age is
Well, you want to know something
age
funny?
is a bitch.
I saw a buddy of mine that I haven't seen in maybe close to a year. You know, I saw him and he invited me over to his house to crash for the nights. So I go over to his place and I haven't seen him in a while. And he blew up, man. He got chunky, and I was, it happens to everybody at the age. He got big. He put on some lbs, and I meant to text my fiance. I thought I was texting. Yeah, right. You know where this is going. Like I texted her, "Hey, I'm here at Joe's. He got really fat.
Ooh,
and his house is really warm." And like 2 seconds later, he comes out of the bathroom like,
Joe,
you fucking asshole! Why'd you send me that?
I'm gonna say this story. Hopefully, she doesn't watch this. She doesn't really watch her show.
What's up?
So Mina knew Ralphie from years ago, from when me and her first met, right?
If you don't mind me interrupting, who is Mina?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay. And who is Ralphie?
Ralphie's one of my best friends.
Okay.
He was on the show not too long ago.
Yeah, all caught up.
And I've known him for years, since we were, long time ago.
High school.
And when I met Mina, they met each other, right? So she remembers him from how he looked back then. So when she came that one day, he was here. Remember when he did that episode and she was here. After the podcast, Ralphie's gonna see this. It'll be funny.
Wait, you haven't said anything yet. So
it's coming. It's coming. Ralphie was here one day. We did a podcast with him, and Mina was here, and she was sitting over there, watching us do it. And after the show, when Ralphie left, and I think John had left too, she goes, "I didn't even know that was Ralphie."
Oof.
I was like, "Wow, you didn't know it was him! Holy crap!"
Has he put on a lot of weight?
He gained a lot of weight. I mean, and he's working right now to try to get it off, which is great. I mean, he should have. But the thing with Ralphie, and I love Ralphie to death, and I've always told him, I think his biggest thing was we used to play a lot of basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And we played a lot of sports. But once you stop, it threw all the balance off, because like we could eat whatever we wanted back then and not gain a pound because we were so active. We played basketball, baseball, whatever the fuck, outside in 100-degree weather. It didn't matter. And we would burn it off. Now it's different because we don't play as much. Like I'm gaining more weight now because I don't play basketball as much, because obviously some of the gyms were closed. They're starting to open up now. Things were different for the past year. So we all gained some weight. But it was really fucking funny when she literally told me, I didn't know it was
whisper
Ralph.
it like that too?
Oh,
God damn.
She was like, "That's Ralph? I didn't even know it was him." I'm like, oh my God.
I will say this though. One of the benefits of being an actor is if your certain role is kind of like, you're known as like the guy that's always, it motivates you to stay in shape, because essentially your livelihood kind of depends on what you got. If you're gonna, if you look a certain way, you want to stay looking that certain way.
Oh my God. The motivation's there, but it's not enough to get me to the gym.
Bro,
I got to get back into the gym. But I met a lot of Hispanic actors on this little gig that I did out in Indiana. And one of the guys who's actually filming, he just finished filming some stuff with Chris Pratt and he's like a sniper or whatever. I'm like, "Man, you're perfect for the role because you have the figure for it." Like, I'm like, "God damn it, I need to get in shape." Like, fuck. I look at fucking Chris Evans. God damn it, I gotta get in shape.
But in a weird way, that might backfire on you. I mean, obviously, I don't know. Maybe you could make you the next.
But the thing, like you said, I mean, most actors don't really stay in shape all that much. Like Chris Evans doesn't really stay in shape. He really hates working out, from what I've read about him. He gets in shape because he gets paid to do it. I mean, even Chris Pratt, who's known to be more of a bigger, they even poked fun of him in Avengers or whatever the movie was, or whatever. I mean, he was in pretty good shape for the first Guardians movie, and then after that's kind of like whatever. I mean,
like, I don't have to take my shirt off anymore. What am I going to say?
Why do it? So you can play around with it. I think it's just a slippery slope though, because if you go like Christian Bale, where he went from fucking being anorexic.
Christian Bale has no body type. He is whatever he wants to decide to be.
He cannot be. That can't be healthy, right?
No, he even said himself he's gonna stop fluctuating in weight so much because it's affecting his health.
That cannot be healthy. I mean, he's literally gone from anorexic walking skeleton to muscular for Batman to overweight. That cannot, like, the dramatic changes cannot be healthy.
I'll be honest with you. I look forward to the day when I get paid to put on weight to play a role.
See, let me tell you something. That's why I always say about The Rock. Like The Rock's constantly on Instagram because I follow him because I'm a fan, and he hates him.
We'll touch back on that, but
he's constantly on Instagram. He's always working out. He's got his traveling gym with him and the whole 9 yards. And he's like, I'm the hardest working, let's be the hardest workers in the room, whatever, which is great motivation, right? But you're getting paid right now to look that way. So you got you don't have to do nothing else but work out, right? Pay me and tell me, hey, we're going to pay you $100,000, but we need you to look like Hugh Jackman. Cool. I'll quit my job right now. And I'll be at the gym 3 times a day.
I would do the same thing.
You get what I'm saying?
For $100,000, quit my job, focus on that for a year. Done.
But it's a different thing when you have to do this. Oh, I just got out of work. Fuck, do I really want to go to the gym? I don't want to go. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Then you go to Jimmy's hot dogs. You get 2 Polishes with fries, and then that's it. You're not going to go to the fucking gym.
We had legendary eat outs after the gym. Like, go for like 2-3 hours.
What was your biggest post-workout binge you've ever had, John?
Oh,
$30
this one I know by heart.
See, I knew that. That's when his eyes lit
Burger
up.
King. They had a triple Whopper at the time, a quad stacker, which is just the meat and cheese. So I had a triple Whopper, a quad stacker. They had a chicken sandwich that was like the size of a Whopper. So I ate those 3. I ate 6 tacos.
My goodness.
A medium.
Was that the same they were thinking about? When we went to his mom. So I used to basically live at his house when we were kids, right? Because I had nothing else to do. I didn't have any friends. So I went to hang out with John.
You had John.
So one time we would go to the gym and he would go work out. I'll play basketball till like fucking 3 a.m. or whatever. And so one day I think we went kind of early and we come back with like a grocery event of Burger King.
I mean, you're used to the brown bags. We brought plastic bags, like it was
with
groceries.
20 bags of Burger King in it.
Yeah.
And his mom was like, "Where'd you guys go to Tony's? Or fucking Jewel? What the hell's going on here?" It was ridiculous. I mean, we would eat that much all the time. We would get away with it because obviously
that was
we were
like
younger.
my biggest one, and I inhaled that in like 20 minutes. It was those 3 sandwiches, 6 tacos, medium fry, and a Diet Coke.
Man, you know what?
You gotta watch your waistline there with that diet.
That was about like 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many calories. 6,000.
I'm just impressed you still remember the order. That's very impressive.
That's because I had.
That's so epic.
That's a legendary one. His face should be
on
the wall of fame at Burger King. He should be next to the king.
I had to sleep in a fetal position. It was rough.
Dude, now I'm craving those Hershey pies.
Don't do it. You don't want to wake up with heart palpitations.
No, man, I'm off sweets until I'm finished shooting this thing, man. Because this is giving me motivation to get really in shape.
You think I can get in shape in 4 days, John?
4 days? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna run I'm gonna run a lot for that. Well, I do burn calories pretty quickly though. I will tell you that. So like, I weighed like one morning. I think I weighed like 210 pounds, and then I actually went to go play basketball one night. Then I weighed myself the next morning and I was like 204. So I can still burn. I don't play it often enough.
No, I believe that. But when I was like in my 20s, early 20s, I was trying to be a bodybuilder or fitness model, whatever. So basically I was trying to pack on muscle. So I would drink a lot of water and I would go to bed weighing like 200 pounds. And I would, after like pissing, like God knows how many times I would wake up like 188.
That's great. That's crazy.
It surprised me. It amazed me. Like, holy shit.
Crazy. But I mean, trying to keep weight is such a hard thing, because like I had, when I was younger, I had a really hard time. I was really skinny. He remembers. Oh yeah. I had a really hard time getting over 200 pounds. Then now it's like the opposite problem. Like I can't get to 200. I think when I got to, I think one time I was, not drinking pop as much or whatever. And I got to like 198 and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And then 20 minutes later, I went to lunch and came back and I weighed myself. I was like 4 pounds.
Shit. Well, that was fun while it lasted.
That didn't last too long. Anything else you wanna talk about real quick before we wrap up?
No, brother. I guess I'll just leave you with thank you for inviting me on. Appreciate you letting me vent and talk and talk shop, because I don't get to do this too often. I don't have I have friends obviously, but none of them are really involved in acting, so they probably just don't care.
It's crazy, right? Like, it's so much fun talking with someone who knows a little bit about the business, John.
I'm sorry, I'm not the guy.
No, it is fun. Like I said, it's something I don't get to talk about too often. So whenever I do get to talk about, man, it's a treat, man.
It is.
It's
I agree.
fun.
We want you back after the Lifetime movie.
I will be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'll be back and I'll let you guys know how it goes,
absolutely,
man.
We're gonna watch it and discuss.
You do me a favor, review it when I'm not here because,
Okay.
dude, that is one thing, dude. I don't know about you, man, but I aside from like watching myself in auditions, because you know you have to watch yourself to know what to correct and what to improve on. Aside from that, I hate watching myself.
Really?
I hate it.
What the?
Loathe it.
What?
You know what? I still have not seen my Chicago PD episode.
Really?
100%.
Why?
I'm serious. I don't know, bro. Because you know, I think of it this way. In my head, whenever I'm performing, like I see Daniel Day-Lewis, and that's what I'm picking. I'm like a beautiful performance, and then I see it. I'm like,
You know what it's like? It's like
it's
me.
not like that at all.
So we went to go out and play tennis, and he was recording it, and I thought I was going to see Roger Federer, and I saw some fat guy with a racket. That's exactly. This is like, I understand.
So
I
you know where
understand
I'm
your
coming
pain.
from, and that doesn't mean like I'm self-conscious. Because like when I'm on camera, I lose myself. I'll do what feels right. I make my choices, and I don't regret anything. And if I have to fix something after seeing myself in audition, so
Turns
be it.
into Eminem.
Right, but I don't. But after it's all said and done, like, no, thank you, I'm good. I don't.
What the?
You know what?
you gotta
I
watch
I
it.
agree with you. I can say that because this last audition that we did, I kind of I did it and I'm like I don't need this. I mean, I would ask them like, what you guys think? What you guys think? Should we do it again?
Full of shit. This guy.
Oh, I
watched
said
it 1,000 times.
now. I said like this last one. If you think I'm lying, we can go ask people because they were here.
Okay.
I would ask them like, what do you guys think? Is it you're good? Is it good? I mean, I'll watch it once, but like the last couple ones, I'm like, yeah, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta have some confidence in what
Sure.
you're doing. You know?
No,
'Cause
no,
again,
that-
I
yeah.
felt like I did. I
We
did
will
pretty well.
watch it, and we will tell you what we thought of it.
Absolutely, I'm gonna watch it. Absolutely. I mean, when you put when Claire Simon had put that you were gonna be on PD, I'm like I'm watching that.
Oh,
show.
okay.
I'm watching that show. Now let me ask you a question.
Let's hear it, man.
Did you officially you didn't attend Chicago Actors, did you? The Chicago Actors Studio.
Chicago Actor Studio. I did. I'm going. Yeah, I confused that with Acting Studio Chicago, which I want to take lessons there too, very badly because it's right next to Pascal Casting. But yeah, go ahead.
Did they post your booking on their Facebook and stuff?
No, because at the time when I booked Chicago PD, I was taking lessons at Green Shirt Studio, so they gave me a little shout out. Green Shirt Studio, It was great. I was learning the Meisner method under Jack Schultz, theater actor, and no, he was phenomenal. Dude, I loved working with him. He was patient, he was kind, he never had anything negative to say, but he would guide you like a good teacher would. But no, I have not great experience.
Cool. I mean, the only reason I asked because I remember them putting up like you remember Dre, right? Andre. I think he was part of our class at one point, too.
Yeah, when we had our dude, I miss those days, bro.
And they had they had the whole little mishap or whatever, and they didn't end up on great terms or whatever.
I still don't know what happened, but
whatever. And I found it interesting that they posted when he booked on Chicago PD on the first episode of the season or whatever. He had booked a little something I auditioned for actually. That's another one. I auditioned for it, but when I watched it, I'm like, he was a better choice.
I'm pretty sure
he looked more of the part than I did.
Well, me and Andre, I like to think we have like very similar looks, long hair, Latino.
But he has the more rugged look than you do.
Mm-hmm.
You have the more like you can play more. He looks, not that he looks angry all the time, but like he has a look of a gangbanger. Like he has that look. You can play it or you can do something else. Mm-hmm. He in my opinion, I mean he's good, but he's gonna do more like kind of where I'm stuck at. Where like every audition, gangbanger, killer, murderer. That's mostly what I'm gonna probably get, unless obviously I get really good at my craft and then I can expand, which I'm going to.
Well, absolutely, you're going to. That's where we're.
But I thought it was interesting because now that you booked something, I don't remember if I saw you on there or not. And then I booked something. I'm like, I don't know if I want you guys to put me on your Facebook without my permission. But whatever, I'll cross that bridge whenever we get there. But you really got to come back.
I would love to come back, man. Thank you, man. This was so much fun.
You were probably the most smoothest guest we've had.
Oh, wow.
Literally. Like you were the most comfortable one. Obviously, you're an actor, so that helps. But
well, now I'm
definitely gonna have you back.
Now I'm tongue tied and don't know what to say. So it's a good way to end the show.
John, anything else before we close out?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm gonna start taking acting lessons so I can understand your struggle.
Maybe you can help me with auditions without freaking punching yourself in the face when
you'll definitely see movies in a different light. It's a cool perspective.
It has ruined.
Oh, I'm
movies
just
for me.
talking shit. I'm never gonna do that.
Never mind. Okay,
Never mind.
I'll turn my attention here now.
All right, so I think we're gonna call it a night.
Right on, brother.
All right. Thank you for coming, John. Whatever.
Okay.
So I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in. Like, comment, and subscribe. Everything we said is in our opinion, and if you don't agree with it, I got 3 words for you. Thanks for listening.